following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. It is 2 minutes past 4 o'clock, time for the 4 p.m. 411 here on WLCN 96.3 FM. My name is Loyd Kirby. I'm the marketing manager here, and as we do pretty much each and every Tuesday, we speak with someone on things happening around town, around Logan County, newsworthy events, and on the first Tuesday of the month, we are lucky enough to have Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch with us. Mayor Welch, thank you for carving time out of your schedule. Sounds like it's a busy one right now.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Always appreciate it.
Sure thing. So, is there anything big coming up that we should probably talk about?
There's several.
Yeah. So obviously, the I don't know if it's really an elephant in the room anymore. It is the room, but the hearing about the potential closure of Logan Correctional Center happens next week on the 13th is the date.
Yep.
At 5 o'clock at Lincoln Junior High. Let me put the information up here for those who are watching on the live stream. Happens at 5 p.m. That is the COGFA hearing on the closure of Logan Correctional Center. Anyone who wishes to provide either oral or written testimony needs to contact the Commission's office. You can do so by email. That email address is facilityclosure@ilga.gov. And so I don't know how familiar you are with the ins and outs of the hearing, but do you have an idea what will take place at that hearing?
If it goes like the COGFA hearing went in Springfield, the panel got to hear from Department of Corrections on what their proposal was, and then representatives from the union got to speak. I'm just guessing, I don't know for sure, but I imagine that it'll be much more of the public and the union getting to speak again and plead their case to the COGFA panel as to why this is a bad idea. And I encourage everybody to either send written testimony, get on the agenda for oral testimony. I'm going to do that myself, and show up at the event. We need everybody.
Sure, absolutely. And of course, as we mentioned, that event is next Thursday at 5 p.m. at Lincoln Junior High. I don't know if this is really breaking news or not, but it's somewhat news. WLCN has received approval from the COGFA Commission to live stream the event, so we will be able to, for people who cannot be there, we'll be able to bring that to you through our YouTube channel. But as Mayor Welch said, and same thing we say when we live stream basketball or other events. Oh, that's someone outside.
Farm equipment.
I didn't know what that was. But as we say, when we live stream, whether it's basketball games or parades, obviously we encourage everyone to be there. But if you can't be there for whatever reason and are interested in what happens, that will give you a means to do so. I was nosing around on Facebook before you got here, Mr. Mayor, and I saw that Sally Turner had posted some instructional information as far as submitting information if you wish to testify. One thing I did not know, but I'm glad it was posted there, I thought you had to sign up in advance, but according to the information she posted, you still, even if you haven't signed up in advance, you will have the opportunity to speak.
Yeah, I think the idea is that signing up in advance gives you a better guarantee of getting opportunities to speak. I think they're limiting it to 2 minutes per person.
Right.
And they haven't said how long they'll stay, but hopefully they'll stay and hear everybody out.
So again, that's the COGFA hearing on the closure of Logan Correctional Center. I don't know if you brought your crystal ball or not, but as far as once the hearing happens, then do you have an idea of what happens next after that hearing in terms of how quickly a decision might be made, or might there be more hearings, or what are the possible options once that happens?
My understanding is they're up against a deadline to get these public hearings done. They're doing one here and one in Stateville. And so after that's done, my understanding is that they're going to then turn around and make a recommendation to the governor's office, and then he'll make a decision. This seems to be moving rather swiftly on their side. I think they've already got plans. If you've seen their proposal, they've already got plans to start moving people out of Stateville and doing some demolition and things. And so, you know, it's been like us chasing their deadlines from the beginning of this.
Yeah, you had mentioned that last time. And again, just nosing through Facebook, as information has been posted, I've noticed a few people have said, well, the budget's been set, the governor's got his mind made up, this is a done deal. What would your response be to that?
I would say there's probably some truth to that. But, you know, we have to be optimistic that if we show up in numbers and we plead our case and tell them how important this is to our community, the people and the lives it's going to impact, and the fact that the information that they're basing this decision on really doesn't make sense, hopefully they'll listen. And, you know, keep in mind, even if COGFA decides not to approve this, they're a advisory panel to the governor. The governor could still approve this. So I think getting the money in the budget was just that step they needed to take in case it does get approved. Time will tell. I wish I had a crystal ball, but you don't. You never know.
Yeah, exactly. So 217-648-5510, the number to call if you have questions for Mayor Welch, questions about Logan Correctional Center issue or anything else. And while we're on the issue of the Logan Correctional Center, I want to mention that on Viewpoint tomorrow morning, we are scheduled to have some guests with us, Correctional Lieutenant 2073 Treasurer Eric McNamara, as well as Record Office Supervisor Abigail Ingram, and Correctional Officer 2073 President Kenny Johnson. So they will all be here with their end whistle starting at 8 a.m. Their show is scheduled till 8:30, but if there's stuff to be said, we'll hang around a bit longer. So again, you can tune in on your radio on the Mixler app, or you can watch the live video stream on YouTube. So.
And they might talk about that rally that I'd mentioned to you.
No, that was news to me.
They might talk more about that tomorrow. They're the organizers of that event.
Okay.
But just a quick plug. So the union is organizing a rally, and the COGFA hearings, it starts at 5. Mm-hmm. The rally will start at 4 o'clock, go until 4:30 on the courthouse square, and then the city already has it on their radar to approve a road closure, so that those that participate in the rally can walk from the courthouse to the junior high. Okay. So, but I don't want to steal their thunder. They'll have all the details.
Sure. So once again, tune in to Viewpoint tomorrow for more on that. And let's see, I'm trying to check my notes here if we covered everything I wanted to ask you about this. I asked you what happens next as far as a timetable, or what is, I guess one thing I did want to ask, and again, maybe you can't tell me this without a crystal ball, but what would be like the best case scenario after the hearing takes place next week, in terms of the COGFA folks say, gee, maybe this was a bad idea, and they tell the governor, no, we shouldn't close that. Again, are you aware, are there any timetables or deadlines that they have to meet in making those decisions, or is it just kind of, like you said, you're kind of chasing their deadlines? And
well, I know that they got put up against a deadline by DOC, and they had to move the deadline date to accommodate these hearings that are required by law. But to your question, best case scenario, the COGFA panel says no, we don't think this is a good idea. Mm-hmm. Now, keep in mind, everybody involved, we all agree on one thing: the facility needs to be rebuilt. Mm-hmm. Ours and state bill. We just want to keep it here. And so when we went to the COGFA panel hearing in Springfield, there was a lot of good things that were brought up, about the impacts to people's lives, the money, the travel for the union reps. They'll talk more about that tomorrow. But another thing we brought up is we have a state-owned property sitting on the outskirts of Lincoln that is a huge eyesore. Mm-hmm. And we just don't want them to repeat that again. And so we've reminded them, and one of the panel members actually brought that up in the hearing too about LDC. So, let's hope that they listen to the people that speak.
Sure. And just to recap, for those who maybe weren't aware, you did have a meeting with some folks in Springfield. Gosh, this has been probably a month and a half ago at least. And last time you were here on this show, you mentioned that some of the, not really objection, but some of the reasons that they were giving as far as why close Logan and move it to Stateville, things like lack of female health care in the area, lack of educational facilities in the area.
Yep.
And if I recall your accounting of the meeting, basically everything they said of here's why we're going to close it, you or the folks who were there representing Lincoln sort of had a response and some substantial information to kind of counteract that.
I think our group had very good rebuttals to that. We heard crazy things like the organizations that they use to teach these educational programs. DOC didn't seek them out. The institution sought DOC out for the contracts to teach those programs, but yet some of the professors don't like to drive down to Central Illinois, and they're from up north. That's just one of many examples, and we just came back and said we live in a modern era where we have the internet and we can do virtual courses. We all know people that have, them or their children have got degrees online, and it's possible. And so we tried to get them to expand their mind and their thoughts a little bit, but a lot of what's driving DOC is transitional components for those individuals, and the numbers just don't make sense when you start looking at the population and the locations and the fact that there's only 2 women's prisons in the state of Illinois. So a lot of good information, and we can thank Andrea Runge from Loyd for that. Andrea, Senator Turner, Rep. Howder, Chairwoman Davenport, we all went, and I think we did a pretty good job of pleading our case to them.
All right. So once again, our guest is Mayor Tracy Welch. She will be here until 4:30. Then at 4:30 we'll have representatives from the Logan County Pride Organization. That group will be having its Pride Fest this coming Saturday from, I believe it's 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. in downtown Lincoln. But we've hit our first break here, so we'll go ahead and pay some bills with some commercials. Again, if you have questions for Mayor Welch, 217-648-5510, the number to call, and we'll be back in 2 minutes.
Brian Clark State Farm offers a range of insurance products to fit your unique needs and give you a peace of mind. Our dedicated team helps you find the perfect policy to safeguard your biggest investments. Brian Clark State Farm can steer you in the right direction on auto insurance, and we've got your home covered from natural disasters to unexpected accidents. Contact me, State Farm Agent Brian Clark, at 217-732-6211 or visit sfinsurelincoln.com. Go Railers!
Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. And we are back on the 4 p.m. 411 here with Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch. Again, if you have questions or comments for Mayor Welch, 217-648-5510. Most of the first part of our discussion here is centered on the COGFA hearing on the closure of Logan Correctional Center and the potential closure itself. Once again, that hearing is Thursday, June 13th, 5 p.m. at Lincoln Junior High School. And if you wish to submit oral or written testimony, if you're watching the live stream, the address is on your screen, facility closure at ilga.gov. But even if you don't submit prior requests to be on the agenda, apparently you can speak, or as long as time allows. But again, submitting your name will give you a better chance to do so. So now that we've talked about Logan Correctional, believe it or not, there's other stuff happening in the world. So you mentioned you just had a Coffee with the Mayor event this past weekend and had a fairly decent turnout for that.
I think we had about 9 people show up. That's one of our bigger turnouts. A lot of good questions. Alderman Steve Parrott was with me, and Fire Chief Ty Johnson. They joined me for Coffee with the Mayor. A lot of good questions. We went, I think, about an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And most people had to get up and go. And so, but yeah, we do that every couple months. Next one's August 17th at Guest House. It's a good opportunity to come, let me buy you a cup of coffee or the beverage of your choice. Mm-hmm. And just sit down and talk about what's important. This time didn't have a lot of questions to kick it off, so we just started talking about things that were happening in the city, and it kind of led to some pretty good dialogue.
All right,
so,
very good. So once again, that is August 17th, rather, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.
9 a.m. to 10 a.m.
You're still competing with that cheap seats, aren't you? Let's see. Also coming up a little bit later this month, the work camp for Lincoln is going to be starting, I guess, on the 16th?
Yep. So this is a program where kids throughout the country come in. It's like a mission program, and they work with Capsule to identify people in the community that could use some help, whether it's some painting or building a new ramp, just things of that nature. And, the wonderful thing about it is this is a group of kids. I think last time there was about 200 of them. And they actually earn money, like a mission trip, to come here and do this work for our community. And I think it's a blessing for Lincoln, for our organizers to make it happen, the kids that come here. And, they come here, get to know our town, the people, little entertainment like some movies and things like that. But in the end, I think it's just a great program, and we've supported it before. So
this will be is it the third, fourth year?
I think it's the third.
Third? Okay, that's what I was thinking. So speaking of third, there's a transition for you. Third Friday is coming up a little bit later this month, and the ever-popular Nashville Nights.
Yep. June 21st. Yeah, June 21st is Third Fridays. Nashville Night is kind of an expansion of our Third Friday, where the downtown businesses, they book some more bands, and the event just kind of blossoms a little bit that night. So usually very crowded that night, and they run from about 5:30 to 8:30, and there is just literally something for everybody down there. There's things to do for adults, kids, there's the artisan market, there's food, there's music to listen to, so it's just a great event. I'm glad that we do it for the community.
Yeah, last time there was a car show, I believe, on the south side of the square. Is that each week or each month, or was that just a one-time thing?
There was one this past Third Friday as well.
Right.
Yeah. And another neat addition is that our fire department, we have some people in the fire department. Savannah Conrady is one of our firefighters, and she's trying to do some community outreach, and so she set a table up, and she was handing out coloring books for kids and kids' firemen's caps, and just getting acquainted with the community, and I think that was a really neat addition that the fire department took on. So kudos to them for doing that.
Yeah. Let's see. We talked about coffee with the mayor. I believe this Thursday, if I remember right, this Thursday is the groundbreaking in Atlanta for the next Homes for Veterans project.
Yeah, the tiny homes.
Yeah, the tiny homes for veterans.
Yeah.
So that happens, I believe, as I said, this Thursday. I don't have the time in front of me, but there will obviously be a big void there with the passing of Joe Shaler, and all he meant not only to that organization but just to the county and veterans causes and so forth. Can you kind of talk about some of the impact he had and maybe some of your interactions and how he might have influenced you or worked with him on some things?
I put a post out on Facebook the day that I learned Joe passed. He had not been doing well, and those of us that are on that board were kind of following along. And, I just remember Joe kind of taking me under his wing when I started going to the Veterans Assistance Commission meetings. And that's a whole nother organization that he helped stand up. And that organization helps veterans who have disabilities, need to get legal help, assistance with helping them get from the VA monies that they're entitled, benefits and things. So that was a great program he stood up, and it's still going today, and I think it will for a very long time. And then he started Civic for the Tiny Homes Project, and I was very intrigued by it, and I started helping out, and I'm like, I'd really like to be on that board and help you guys out. So I joined the board, and we're on our 6th and 7th houses now. In Atlanta they're starting. It looks like it's at 6 p.m. is the groundbreaking. So this is a really neat opportunity too, because now we're starting to serve Central Illinois, not just in Lincoln.
Right.
So there's Atlanta that we're going to be talking about. There's discussions maybe in Rushville. So it's starting to grow. So Joe started something with this conceptual idea that just kind of blossomed. And Joe was one of those guys that was like a magnet. And when he started something, he just drew people to him. And we got a great board, and he's responsible for him and Kim Turner for Hope on 5th. It's an organization that's kind of in its infant stages and getting its legs underneath it, but he left one heck of a legacy behind and touched a lot of lives. So he will be sorely missed.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know, just perhaps maybe we'll hear a mayoral proclamation for Joe Shaler Day, or we'll see a Joe Shaler Veterans Park or something down the road.
I'm already working on that. I was actually talking to some of the veterans organizations today about it. Yeah. So more to come on that.
More to come. All right. We'll go ahead and take our second break here. Once again, our guest is Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch. If you have questions, 217-648-5510, the number to call. We'll be back in 2 minutes with more from Mayor Welch.
Brian Clark State Farm offers a range of insurance products to fit your unique needs and give you a peace of mind. Our dedicated team helps you find the perfect policy to safeguard your biggest investments. Brian Clark State Farm can steer you in the right direction on auto insurance, and we've got your home covered from natural disasters to unexpected accidents. Contact me, State Farm Agent Brian Clark, at 217-732-6211 or visit sfinsurelincoln.com. Go Railers!
Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Back on the 4 p.m. 411 here with Lincoln Mayor Tracy Welch. Got a couple minutes left. 217-648-5510, the number to call if you have questions, or you can email them, 4pm411 at WLCNonline.com. We've been talking, of course, about the news around the potential closure for the Logan Correctional Center. Also some other upcoming events, the Work Camp for Lincoln, Third Fridays, Coffee with the Mayor events, and one other thing we wanted to be sure to mention that you mentioned is just recently passed is the residential sewer, is it a rebate program or is it a...
Yeah, it's a rebate program. So it's not a glamorous topic, but it's a huge topic because anybody's gone through it knows that if you own a residence in Lincoln and you've had a sewer line collapse, you're probably looking at anywhere from a $12,000 to $13,000 to $25,000 plus bill to get that fixed. And so our ordinances are crafted in a way where we felt we needed to keep them intact. So the program is really meant to help with that. And it's a very simple program. You got to meet some basic requirements, and you can get up to, it's a 50-50 match program up to $5,000, and you have to get 3 bids, and you can only get 1 grant every 20 years. Most people, that should be fine. It's got to be a complete replacement, but we put that program in place to help people. We still encourage people to go get a insurance program to protect their lines, and that could help offset that cost. But we earmarked about $250,000 for that project, and we're curious to see how it's going to work out. We're pretty excited about it. So yeah.
I just want to double check. You said the cost of replacing $12,000 or $1,200?
No, $12,000.
Wow. Okay.
And a lot of the cost is because you're responsible from your line to your house to where it ties into the city, and that's usually under a road.
Oh.
By the time you tear into a road and you got to put the surface back the way it is, it gets pretty expensive. I mean, we had one estimate come in that was $80,000 for a homeowner.
Jeepers.
That's just unreal. Now they got better bids and got it more realistic, but I don't know too many people that can absorb that kind of cost.
Yeah, well, no, I couldn't. So, all right. So,
Yep.
and if folks have questions about that or are interested in finding out more about that, what's the best way they could go about?
So the program got approved last night, and then it'll actually probably kick off in August because we got to go through an appropriations process to put the funding in place for it. But I would guess mid-August it'll be operational. Call City Hall, call the sewer department, call your alderman. Everybody should be able to give you the basics, and then we're going to put the program details online on the website too.
Okay, very good. So, just about a minute left here. Maybe just for those who might be tuning in late, we'll go ahead and recap that next Thursday is the hearing about the potential closure of the Logan Correctional Center, Thursday, June 13th, 5 p.m. at Lincoln Junior High School. WLCN has gotten permission to live stream or approval to live stream the event. However, we certainly encourage everyone and anyone who can to be in person at that event. If you're interested in speaking or providing written testimony, you can send a request about that, facility closure at ilga.gov, and get on the agenda, and hopefully we'll change some minds or influence some minds. And
That's what we're hoping to accomplish.
yeah. Do you any idea how long you said when we were talking about getting on the agenda, if you get on the agenda ahead of time, you got a better chance of speaking. Any idea roughly how long this event might last? Is it how long was the one in Springfield?
Well, the one in Springfield lasted about an hour and a half. But I think by the time they start going through individuals and it's 2 minutes at a shot, I think I'm anticipating a 2 to 3 hour event.
Okay.
So.
And once again, that will be at Lincoln Junior High on Broadway Street. Yeah, Broadway Street, 208 Broadway, 5 p.m. on Thursday, the 13th. So, Mayor Welch, once again, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
See you again in a month. And don't go away just yet, because we do have representatives from Logan County Pride here. The Logan County Pride Fest 2024 is happening this Saturday from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. in downtown Lincoln, and we'll have information on that. Speak with a couple representatives from Logan County Pride right after this.
Brian Clark State Farm offers a range of insurance products to fit your unique needs and give you a peace of mind. Our dedicated team helps you find the perfect policy to safeguard your biggest investments. Brian Clark State Farm can steer you in the right direction on auto insurance, and we've got your home covered from natural disasters to unexpected accidents. Contact me, State Farm.
The following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. Tracy Welch for joining us here as our live stream information gets settled there. And now we have a second half hour, and folks from the Logan County Pride Organization. We have Kelsey Edwards and Tristan Carrick with us. Thank you for joining us. So Pride Fest 2024. This is the fourth. Okay.
Yeah.
What can we expect? What new and exciting stuff is happening this year?
Yeah, so a couple things we're bringing back that were just popular are the facial hair contest and the pet costume contest.
Okay.
Facial hair contest starts at 4:30. Pet costume contest starts at 6. The overall event is going to be from 3 to 8. And that's Rainer time, so you have to have it. We will be having live performances this year, so
Okay.
we'll have a stage area with a DJ and then over 50 vendors. So we had a goal of getting 50, last year we got 30, so lots of people coming in. Arts, crafts, snacks, resources, all kinds of stuff.
Very cool. And just for the folks who maybe aren't familiar with Logan County Pride, how long's the organization been in existence?
I believe 4 years. We decided to start the initial one 4 years ago.
Okay. I'm not sure what that beat was, but hopefully it's nothing major. So 4 years, and do you have an idea of the like how many members there are for the organization, or?
We have 6 total on our board right now, and then we have available volunteers who have overtime just to add service and so they fill out our team because it does take a lot of hands to put this stuff together.
And what? Obviously, you have the Pride Fest, but what other kinds of things does Logan County Pride do, or what are they involved in throughout the year?
Yeah, I think that's a really great question, and it's something that we're honestly answering as time goes on. Over the last couple of years, a lot of our focus has been on growth, just trying to get things sustainable so that there is a future for Logan County Pride, and we're not a one-and-done event. And now that we're kind of getting into that sweet spot, we have begun looking at other events. Specifically, we're looking at planning a Pride picnic for later this year. We're looking at doing things in October and some much smaller community events. With that, we're also making sure that we are representing all of Logan County. So we've begun conversations of how do we, make waves here in Atlanta. How do we check out things in Latham and so those are conversations that we're going through. But I would say that there's a lot more to come, and hopefully we'll have more to announce come July.
All right, very good. And if folks are interested in joining or supporting or anything like that, where would they find more information?
Yeah, please reach out to us on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, you're welcome to message us. There's, I think, 4 of us who manage it, so you get a pretty quick response. Or you can shoot us an email. It's logancountypride@gmail.com.
Okay. What is the organization in need of? I mean, I'm sure in order to do Pride Fest as well as, picnic or other events, probably financial support would be very welcome. I know you do some fundraisers like the fundraising night out at Culver's. I've seen that before. Are there other opportunities for folks to support the organization monetarily, or if someone just wants to write you a check, I'm guessing you'd be okay with that as well?
We will always accept donations. We also do, promote sponsorships about 6 months before our festival. So a lot of businesses that are returning sponsors, we'll send them an email. And then at our monthly meetings, we kind of just brainstorm others to reach out to. But we have had some that just reach out to us on their own. So we always welcome that. Obviously, financially, it's a big piece to be able to host a free event and hire and do all the things to bring the free fun to people.
Sure. So once again, this is Logan County Pride Fest 2024 we're talking about. That happens this Saturday from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. You said there were 50 vendors, live music, food, prize contests, giveaways. You mentioned some resources. What kind of resources folks will be available to folks, or who will be providing those?
Yeah, so we will have some resources about Logan County specifically and the LGBTQIA plus community. However, about 40% of the vendors who are attending Logan County Pride are nonprofit organizations who operate in the greater central Illinois area. And so a lot of them will be bringing resources like on adoption, on legal matters. We have many vendors who will be bringing things for resources.
Okay.
Some with health resources,
Yeah.
health-related resources. So
I know one of our big sponsors, Lincoln Memorial Hospital, it will actually be there with Memorial Behavioral Health to help provide mental health resources that are available throughout Logan County.
Sure. Okay. And I'm just trying to sit here and kind of, me as just, sort of a average white guy, heterosexual, kind of white as sour cream is usually how I describe myself to people, thanks to Weird Al Yankovic and his lyrics. But what kind of struggles do folks in, and I'm going to mess up the letters, that's just out of ignorance, but the LGBTQIA plus? Yeah. All right. What kind of struggles do those folks face, either long-term or even on a day-to-day basis, that maybe someone out of ignorance like myself have no clue about?
Yeah, so I always tell my story of I grew up here in Lincoln, born and raised, and went through the public education system. I went to LM8, talking too fast, the high school in Lincoln.
LCHS.
That's it, LCHS. And one of the biggest things that I noticed growing up was just visibility. For a long time, I thought I was the only gay kid in our high school, which wasn't true, but it felt that way. And that was very hard. And because of that, that led to a lot of mental health issues, just kind of struggling to find a place where I belong, and having this greater feeling that Logan County was not a place that I belonged. And so as we started this project and founded this organization, one of the things that we have been very diligent about is increasing our visibility to show that, yes, you do belong here in Logan County, in the same way that I belong here in Logan County. So that's, I think, one of the biggest things. And then the other thing is just access to resources and knowledge. Being gay is not easy, and when you don't have anybody to talk to, it can be hard. And so one thing I pride myself in is making sure that my team feels comfortable to talk to anybody about anything, and if they don't have the answer, at least know where to get the answer, and where to find resources to help people.
I see what you did there, that you pride yourself on it. Very clever. We'll go ahead and take our first break here. Once again, if you have questions of Kelsey or Tristan, 217-648-5510, the number to call, or you can email your questions, 4pm411 at WLCNonline.com. We will be back in 2 minutes with more about Logan County Pride.
Brian Clark State Farm offers a range of insurance products to fit your unique needs and give you a peace of mind. Our dedicated team helps you find the perfect policy to safeguard your biggest investments. Brian Clark State Farm can steer you in the right direction on auto insurance, and we've got your home covered from natural disasters to unexpected accidents. Contact me, State Farm Agent Brian Clark, at 217-732-6211 or visit sfinsurelincoln.com. Go Railers!
Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. And we are back on the 4 p.m. 411 here on WLCN 96.3 FM, talking with representatives from the Logan County Pride Organization. We have my camera turned around, Kelsey Edwards and Tristan Carrick. And I don't know if I asked you before, what are your, like, do you have titles or certain roles within the organization, each of you?
Yeah, so in establishing the organization, we decided having an official board. We had to create bylaws, go through all that things to become a nonprofit. So with that, we kind of voted on what made sense for each person. So at this time, I report as president, and Tristan reports as vice president.
You're a heartbeat away from presidency. Now, we mentioned, of course, the Pride Fest coming up this weekend on Saturday. During the break, you told me there are some information you'd like the public to be aware of in terms of getting around, things to do,
Yeah.
ease of travel, those types of issues.
Absolutely. So yeah, we just want to make sure people know the road closure does begin at noon that day. We will have barricades that we'll be putting up. It'll include South Kickapoo Street in front of Guest House, so that whole strip will be closed. And then Pulaski Street that runs in front of the Arcade and Spirited. And then half of McLean Street, it'll be open where the post office is and closed on the other half. So 2.5 streets will be blocked. So, we'll have abilities for the vendors and stuff to get in, but they'll have to go find parking, much like at a Third Friday event. So just for the general public, so they know that that's happening. And yeah, just general information that is probably common knowledge, but we want to make sure safety is at top of mind for our event. So just stay hydrated and wear sunscreen. Last year it was a blazing 90+ degrees. It was very hot out there. This is an all ages event, so children and pets are welcome and should be supervised at all times. Pets should be leashed, but we do welcome them, especially we're having a pet costume contest. No open alcohol on the streets. So to my knowledge, Spirited Republic will be open, Alibi, Rusty Rail, so people may consume legal drinks, but have to stay in those designated areas to do so. We will have peacekeepers and uniformed officers there for safety, just to monitor and make sure everything goes well. And there will be picnic tables, trash cans, and porta potties available, all for the convenience of our guests.
All right, very good. So once again, the hours are 3 p.m. to 8 p.m.
3 to 8 p.m.
And admission is free. I mean, there might be, if you visit a food vendor or whatever, obviously there might be some costs, but you can get in for free. Are there any, how do I want to ask this? You mentioned peacekeepers and officers. Have there been any incidents in the past that have needed to be quashed?
There have not, but I think just looking nationally, we know that that is a possibility. So we just always want to make sure our guests do feel safe and included. So there has never been an incident, which we're very grateful for, but we just continue to have that, and just for any other situation that may arise. So.
Okay. And it sounds like this year, I don't know, again, what the right term is, but this seems like you mentioned it's a family-friendly event. Kids welcome, pets welcome. In the past, haven't there been more like drag shows and things that are a little more flamboyant, for lack of a better word?
We have had those shows in the past. They have typically been post-event. So the event itself is all ages. So, I mean, we're also going to have bouncy houses and face painting and free books. So it is on all ages, just to make it as inclusive as possible. There will be a post-drag show hosted at the Foxhole afterwards from 9 to 11, which is a 21 plus.
Okay.
So 3 to 8, any and all welcome. 9 to 11, 21 plus.
Okay, very good. And this doesn't really fit in to anywhere, but I know we were talking about fundraising earlier. I saw it on our community calendar that the Bee actually stepped up and did a shopping day to help support Logan County Pride. Do you want to talk about that and thank them for their support?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll talk about that one. It was actually a very fun conversation that I had with the owner of the Bee. In the past, they've actually been a vendor of Logan County Pride when we were out at the fairgrounds, and have been a part of our emailing list every year of, hey, come participate. However, they had the privilege of opening up their own store on the square, so it didn't make sense for them to have a tent sitting outside. But they still wanted to be involved, and that led to a larger conversation of what can you do, what can we do, and we had this conversation about having a day where people can go in, shop at the Bee like normal, and that particular day, a certain percentage of the sales would be donated back to Logan County Pride, and so that was very kind of them, and I'm thankful from the bottom of my heart, because those are the opportunities that we don't get a lot here in Logan County. So when they do come, it's truly heartwarming.
Yeah, so that was Buzzing with Pride at the Bee, and then mentioned before, you often have the Culver's nights. If there are other organizations out there who would like to do some sort of a partnership like that, how would they go about setting that up?
I would say either emailing or messaging us on Facebook, so we can have that conversation exactly how they want to plan it out.
Okay.
LoganCountyPride@gmail.com or on our Facebook page.
All right. Yeah, we're a little short, but let's go ahead and take our final break here because we've got to cut off a little early for the satellite. So once again, we're talking with Tristan Carrick and Kelsey Edwards from Logan County Pride. The Logan County Pride Fest 2024 will be this Saturday from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. with adults only drag at 9 to 11. Where was the Rusty?
At the Foxhole.
At the Foxhole. So
yep.
Once again, information available on the Logan County Pride Facebook page. And if you have questions or comments, 217-648-5510, the number to call. Or you can email us your questions and comments, 4pm411 at WLCNonline.com. We will be back in 2 minutes, and we will wrap up with representatives from the Logan County Pride.
Brian Clark State Farm offers a range of insurance products to fit your unique needs and give you a peace of mind. Our dedicated team helps you find the perfect policy to safeguard your biggest investments. Brian Clark State Farm can steer you in the right direction on auto insurance, and we've got your home covered from natural disasters to unexpected accidents. Contact me, State Farm Agent Brian Clark, at 217-732-6211 or visit sfinsurelincoln.com. Go Railers!
Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. And we are back on the 4 p.m. 411 here with Kelsey Edwards and Tristan Carrick from Logan County Pride, the Logan County Pride Fest 2024 this weekend from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Talked about Logan County Pride being around for 4 years. How did the organization come into being? Is there hopefully a positive story behind that, or something educational behind that we can share with folks?
Yeah, so Logan County Pride got its start in 2021, basically based off this conversation that Pride could never happen here in Logan County. the culture just wouldn't allow it. And so that felt like a challenge. And that challenge was starting to put into place. And a group of people got together, including Kelsey, to start planning out this first event. And in its baby stages, it was a private event, very low radar, just trying to see how things go, to see what the impact would be. And it was a phenomenal event. It had some really great turnout, had some really great vendors, and they got their feet wet. So moving into that second year, it started to have this larger conversation of this shouldn't just be a one and done thing. We should continue this. And they decided to plan another Pride Fest event. And about halfway through the year, I came into the picture and tried to help lay down some foundation for the team and get us organized so that it felt like a professional event, even though we were 5-6 people who were meeting at a coffee shop. And so we did that. We had our first public event in 2022. Had amazing, I think we had 25 vendors that year, had a turnout of about 1,200 people, which we weren't expecting for our first, public event. And so ever since then, we've been on this project of growth, seeing what more can we do, how can we continue to grow this event to show that we're not going anywhere. We're going to continue our mission of being visible in the community, while also continue to supporting the people who help us get here. And so we started planning 2023. It was a much larger conversation as we decided we were going to move the event from the fairgrounds to downtown, which required a lot more planning and a lot more logistics than I think we were prepared for. But we made it happen. We had 40 vendors that year. We had a turnout of about 1,500 people, which was fantastic. And we had the opportunity to work with a lot of downtown businesses. And so this year, as we continue to grow, that was part of the plan, was to tie in our businesses that are helping support us, highlight those sponsors who are helping us grow as well. We'll also continue to make an amazing event. And so that's why the decision this year was to add 50 vendors. We have food trucks this year. We'll have live music, so many other things. And I think that as we continue to grow and as the organization continues to form, we're going to continue looking for that feedback of what can we do better. I know that I'm not perfect by any means, but I think that's where we're at, is this continued growth of what was once a baby organization 4 years ago.
And I think it's important to highlight just the importance of it in a rural area. We hear that a lot from our partners in Springfield, Peoria. When we tell them there's a Pride Fest in Lincoln, they're just blown away. People who grew up here, who are, older, that said we would have never guessed that this would be here. So just highlights the importance of having representation, having that inclusivity also in rural areas as well.
Right. And so I remember now that we did talk about this last time. How did you yourself get involved in this? Because you're safe to say you have a husband and children, and that you are an ally.
Yes.
And to the nth degree. How did that come about? If you can share.
Yeah, so I have just several friends who are a part of the community, Tristan included. I guess you're my friend. But lots of people who I love who are part of that community. And so I've always been an ally. I have always, wanted to be a part of something bigger to help support them and have their rights. And so I knew the people who said we should do this. And I sent a message and said, how can I help? And then it was just putting everything together, and then I became the president. So that went fast.
Very cool. Got about 3 minutes left here. You mentioned sort of expanding things as far as perhaps some sort of a picnic event in the future. Are there any other, or if folks have ideas for events, I guess is what I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, we've brainstormed as a board just what else can we do in the community. Hosting an educational panel seems to be a recurring want of ours, is to just host an educational panel for people to ask questions, for people to sit up on a panel just to educate the community a bit more about the LGBTQ community. People who maybe have questions that they don't know how to ask, that we would welcome them to come and ask questions. Something Tristan and I, of course, it's nowhere near being at the developing part, but we really want to do a scholarship for students in Logan County. So we both have, the importance of education in our hearts. So Pride Picnic, as you mentioned, and yeah, just other ways to be involved. We would entertain hearing from people on what kinds of things they would enjoy doing.
All right. So once again, the Logan County Pride Fest this Saturday from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. with 50 vendors, live music, food, prize contests, giveaways. Mentioned resources being there as well, and then the 21 and over drag event afterwards at Foxhole from 9 to 11.
Yeah.
So anything else you want to promote or talk about, or?
I'll just give one final shout out to our 2 platinum sponsors, which obviously goes a long way. Platinum sponsors are our largest donors. So Lincoln Memorial Hospital being one of them, and another one, a fabulous group based out of Springfield Coral. Coalition of Rainbow Alliances is their name. They've been around for about 20 years. So they do a lot for the Springfield area, but they also kind of bounce around to all the central Illinois. So those are our 2 really big supporters.
And I remember having a different conversation with you that you had mentioned how I can't remember if you just attended or you were, Logan County Pride had a presence at the Springfield Pride Fest or at a booth down there or something. Is there a lot of that sort of inter-group cooperation or support that happens amongst the Pride organizations? Yeah,
there is. So we do try to attend as many other Central Illinois Pride Fests as possible, just to be a presence there, to give them support. We were at the Springfield Pride Fest in May and had a table booth shared with Coral. So yeah, we do try to attend any of them that we can. Bloomington, Decatur, Peoria. So.
All right, very good. So once again, Kelsey Edwards and Tristan Carrick from Logan County Pride Fest this Saturday from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. We are approaching the end of the hour, so thank you both for being here, and we'll be back next week with the 4 p.m. 411. And feel free to hop on YouTube and watch the live stream of this. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.